My 20 female girlfriend of 2 years told me the music that I, 25 male, play during sex is weird and a major turn off. A little backstory: when I first started having sex, I researched into ways to be better as I was a little stiff and pretty much had no idea what I was doing. I read online that you can play music and match the rhythm in order to put on a better performance. I searched love-making songs and started slowly creating a playlist in which I was comfortable matching the rhythm. There are a few songs to my playlist. However, there's one song in particular, which actually happens to be my favorite, that my girlfriend hates and says turns her off in a major way. I don't understand why it has taken her 2 years to tell me she hates that song. It's a good love-making song with good rhythm. I feel the way I fucked up is I could have possibly asked her previously if she likes the playlist or any song she'd like to add/change. But to leave it for 2 years thinking our sex life is great but in her eyes has just been ruined by my music has left the whole situation feeling awkward, and I'm a bit annoyed. I pretty much played this tune every single time, so the amount of time she must have not been enjoying it, when I thought the complete opposite is annoying but also embarrassing in ways. Not to mention my previous partners, however, they never complained about the song, so maybe it's just her. It's fucked up the relationship TBH because sex feels awkward now. The other day we were having sex with no music, but I was still thrusting to the tune playing in my head. She recognized this and asked me to stop. I thought this song was perfect, and I always thrust along with the tune and feel it gives me the perfect rhythm for doing the deed to. I usually bust to this song and find it devastating she hates the song. Today I fucked up by buying everyone an Ancestry DNA kit and ruining Christmas. Earlier this year, Ancestry DNA had a sale on their kit. I thought it would be a great gift idea, so I bought 6 of them for Christmas presents. Today my family got together to exchange presents for our Christmas Eve tradition, and I gave my mom, dad, brother, and 2 sisters each a kit. As soon as everyone opened their gift at the same time, my mom started freaking out. She told us how she didn't want us taking them because they had unsafe chemicals. We explained to her how there were actually no chemicals, but we could tell she was still flustered. Later she started trying to convince us that only one of us kids need to take it since we will all have the same results, and to resell extra kits to save money. Fast forward, our parents have been fighting upstairs for the past hour, and we are downstairs trying to figure out who is a different dad. TLDR, I bought everyone in my family Ancestry DNA kit for Christmas. My mom started freaking. Now our parents are fighting, and my dad might not be my dad. Update: thank you so much for all the love and support. My sisters, brother, and I have not yet decided yet if we're going to take the test. No matter what the results are, we will still love each other, and our parents no matter what. Update 2, Christmas isn't ruined. My foo actually turned into a Christmas miracle. Turns out my sister's father passed away shortly after she was born. A good friend of my mom's was able to help her through the darkest time in her life, and they went on to fall in love and create the rest of our family. They never told us because of how hard it was for my mom. Last night she was strong enough to share stories and photos with us for the first time, and it truly brought us even closer together as a family. This is a Christmas we will never forget. And yes, we are all excited to get our test results. Merry Christmas, everyone. P.S. Sorry my mom isn't a whore. No, you're not my daddy. Today I fucked up by living in a dark bedroom for 6 years. The overhead fan in our bedroom uses one of those compact halogen light bulbs. 6 years ago the bulb burned out and got really dim, just barely a glow. I bought a replacement bulb, but when I put that one in it was also barely lighting up, so I realized the unit was bad. The fan still worked great. It literally is the best fan I've ever had because it moves a ton of air and is super quiet. The fan had also been a gift when we moved into our house. The unit cost over $400, so I didn't really want to replace it, even though our bedroom doesn't get much natural light, so it is pretty dark. So since then, over the years, my wife and I have had to make do with no overhead light. We open the windows during the day, and at night use a combination of bedside lamps and the bathroom light. It's never really as good of lighting as an overhead lamp, so I keep some flashlights up there for when we are cleaning or looking for something, etc. After 6 years of living in the dark, this winter I just decided I would replace the damn thing. But before I did, I decided to try one last time with another bulb because, however unlikely, it's possible both bulbs I had tried were bad. So I'm up there installing the new bulb, grab the remote, the fan has a remote, and as I'm turning the light on I realize the goddamn thing is dimmable. For 6 fucking years we lived with the inconvenience of no overhead light, and the whole time it was just because the damn thing was set to dim. Fuck me. TLDR. For 6 years I lived with no bedroom light because the overhead lamp was broken, but turns out it was fine and it was just set to a dim setting the whole time. Today I fucked up by owning a golden retriever while being black. Work was rough today and all I wanted to do afterward was to sit on the couch and let the TV watch me while eating food not cooked by my own hands. The answer to that? Delivery. Food ordered. I let the dog into the yard to burn some energy and sat camped outside with him while waiting for the delivery. DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber and everyone other than Jehovah's Witnesses has trouble locating my address strictly relying on GPS, so it's nothing for me to post up and wait outside for when they are close, flag them down and go back inside for a contactless drop-off. Pertinent details before shit hits the fan. My neighbor and I share a fence with a doggy door as our pups are super close, and you can bet each time that if my dog is outside, hers will follow for cross-yard playtime. This was the case today, and probably bad judgment on my part to think that I would be able to break up the fun quickly. Both dogs were in the neighbor's yard at the time the notification came through that the driver was pulling up, and I had to call out a few times to get my dog's attention. Neighbor thankfully whistled for her dog and I had to put on the voice for mine to acknowledge I existed, and then took off running for my door while waving to the driver who by this point was getting out of the car. Pup and I have a game called Runaway where I will take off yelling runaway and literally he will chase after me like some human-sized fetch stick. I used this to my advantage until he realized I was putting him inside, but managed to get him through the storm door and close the screen before he could run out. Then realized that I'd left the gate locked like an idiot with the driver standing right outside by this point. I didn't have a mask on at this point and neither did she, so I yelled from the porch that she could leave the food by the mailbox, and that is where the fun started. "Is that your dog?" My bullshit meter didn't go off. I thought she was asking a question with an obvious answer because duh, she was a dog person, so I engaged with dog owner gushiness. "Yes, blah, blah, blah. His name is XYZ. Wanna say hi? I'll be nice because you brought my food." But she just stood there awkwardly for a moment, put the food down and quickly jumped back into her car. In my mind I was like, okay, weird, but whatever. Snatched the food and went back inside. Went to wash my hands, and from the kitchen window, I can see the full street where she is still parked outside. Thinking okay, weird, again, but didn't dwell on it too much, figuring that she was looking at the route to her next location. I went about my business of preparing to destroy my meal. Few minutes later, the dog begins barking manically at the door. I take a glance at the cameras and realize she is still out front, parked directly in front of my mailbox. Okay? What's going on here? I go outside and try to get her attention, but she's on the phone and doesn't notice me. I walk up like I'm going to check the mail and she does pull off, but towards the back of the neighborhood that only has one way in and one way out. Lots of people make that mistake, and so you'll quickly see cars turning back around, but she never came back. By this time, I think I'm losing my mind, so I go back in, but still watching the street for the car to pass. It never does. I don't know, people are weird, so I just left it at that and went back to eat. About 10 minutes later, dog starts going ham at the door, so I check the cameras to see 2 police cars sitting outside my house. I continue to watch the cameras, realizing that yup, the cops are getting out of the car and walking back and forth in front of mine and neighbors' yards. I go out to see if anything is wrong, and they introduce themselves before saying they were called because a stolen golden retriever was reported at my address and if there was a dog in the home. It clicked that driver had called the police, and then explained my version of what happened. They were really respectful and apologetic, but asked if I could get Sir Pup. I went ahead and opened the door for the dog, who took off, ready to greet the new faces outside. His collar has tags matching the address with my name and phone number on it in case he was ever lost or stolen, which was proof enough for them, as it was obvious that they wanted to get this over as fast as possible. No hard feelings on either side. We were all walking away when driver's car slowly comes creeping from the back of the neighborhood. I yelled out to them that the lady was right there, and they positioned themselves in front of her car in a way she would have to stop and speak with them. I don't know if this lady was drunk or off her meds, but she rolled down the window and was literally sobbing hysterically that she saw me take the dog from the neighbor's yard, that animals get no justice, and the icing on the cake? My kind only owns pit bulls and Rottweilers. There was no way he was mine and needed to be protected. I honestly did not want to deal with that mess, so sorry guys. This isn't a tale of revenge. I went back inside and stayed the fuck on my couch. My day was already shitty. Everyone left a few minutes after that, so I assumed she got a warning. However, I did report the incident to the delivery service and was offered credits towards my next meal. I splurged that on a bakery, and now I'm currently fucking up a slice of carrot cake, grateful it didn't end worse. TLDR. Ordered food. Racist delivery person thought I stole my own golden retriever and had a breakdown when I didn't get carted off in handcuffs. Didn't get shot, but got cake in the end. Edit. Wow, Reddit. Waking up to the massive amounts of love and well wishes was amazing. Thank you so much for your kind words. I am going to do my best and go through every comment and private message. I wish I could share this cake with all of you. Carrot cake lovers unite. Happy to share this pile of awards with other great posts and comments. Taking the sound advice to keep a close eye on the dog when he goes out. We'll also share with neighbor just in case. My husband did agree with many of you to seek further action against the delivery driver, but I'm pretty torn on whether to do so. Things are hard out here for all of us, including the less savory members of our community, but I will take the day to think on the next steps. I appreciate the sub this was posting to for restoring it after being removed. I apologize that this topic bent the rules and didn't think 100% before submitting. This was a way to vent. Thank you for allowing this to be a place of dialogue. Stay classy, everyone.